So, good day, everyone. Okay, again, I hope that you're in a conclusive place to study. Okay, so our topic for today is the transition towards colonization. So, contextualizing the arrival of the Spaniards. Okay, so before we start the discussion of this lesson, okay, guys, no, I would just like you to know that the transition towards the colonization and the arrival of the Spaniards in the Philippines marked a significant turning point in Philippine history. Okay, so to understand this movement, it is crucial to contextualize it within the historical and political landscape of the archipelago. Okay, no? So, before to continue the discussion, di ba na-discuss na natin yung pre-colonial way of living. Okay? So, prior to the arrival of the Spaniards, the Philippines was a collection of diverse and independent societies. Okay, na-discuss na natin yan. Lesson 1, Lesson 2, Lesson 3. Okay, there are various indigenous groups inhabited the islands, each with their own distinct cultures, languages, and political systems. These societies engage in trade and commerce with neighboring Southeast Asian countries. Okay, so yon. Now, however, okay, let's move on to the lesson objectives. Okay, so what are the lesson objectives of this topic? So first, we will discuss the context behind the Spanish exploration to the Philippines. So bakit nga ba? Okay, so to examine the different factors that motivated Spain and other European states to explore the world and to trace the successful conquest of the Spaniards of the archipelago. Okay, so in 15 to 700 century, okay, there is this thing called growing European exploration of the world. It is the age of exploration or discovery. Okay, no? So the arrival of the Spaniards, led by who? Ferdinand Magellan in 1521, changed the course of Philippine history. Okay, the Spanish expedition seeking to expand their empire and spread Christianity encountered the islands of the Philippines. Okay, Magellan's arrival in Cebu marked the first direct contact between the indigenous peoples and the Europeans. Okay, so guys, as you can see, the period from 15th through early 17th century was characterized by growing European exploration of the world, meaning to say, it is the period in human history wherein the Europeans, not only Spaniards, began exploring in search of new trading routes, territories, and wealth. Gusto nilang magpayaman, gusto nilang magpalaki ng kanilang nasasakupan. This was crucial stage in human history as those European countries began to embark on a series of global explorations. Kamalas-malas natin, isa tayo sa napuntahan ng isang European country, which is the Spain. Okay. So this period is commonly known as the Age of Discovery. Why? Okay. So, as you can see, no, during this period, there was an increasing sophistication in maritime travel technology. Okay? So, ganun na po ka-advance sila dati. There are new kinds of ships, maps, navigational instruments, and weapons were developed. Okay? So, the knowledge of geography and sailing was rapidly being enhanced. Samantalang tayo before, okay, hindi pa ganun ka-advance. Okay? So, why did European countries explore the world? First of all, because they were motivated by profit, power, and religion. Okay? So, that's why they explore the world. Okay? Kung sino yung kaya nilang talunin, mapupunta sa kanila. And by that time, they can have their profit, mapapalakas yung power nila, and they can spread the religion na pinapalaganap nila. Okay? So, there was an increasing demand for goods and services given that there was also an increasing number of people, di ba? Mas maraming tao, mas maraming pangangailangan, at mas maraming demand for goods and services, maraming kita. Okay, the rapid sophistication of science and technology and humanities brought by the Renaissance led to the improvement of the standards of living, which furthered the need for goods for the broader population. Okay, so as you can see, the age of exploration was also a period when European countries competed against each other for what? For power and influence. Okay, so yun. Hindi lang po hindi lang po Spain, even Portugal, okay, nandyan din sila. Even England, isa yan sa mga malalakas na bansa. Okay, na nanakot before. Okay? So, ano pa, marami pa guys, no? And this is a way to compete, no? Magpalaki ka ng nasasakupan mo. Manakop ka na kaya mong sakupin. And it is a significant way to become a more powerful kingdom by exploring and conquering new territories, which would be a source of spices and other raw materials. The more wealth they could get from other territories, the more powerful European state they would become. So, yun, grabe, no? The larger the territories invaded by these countries, the more they become prestigious in the eyes of the rivals. Okay, parang ganito yan. Sige, let's put it in a simpler term. Okay, si Block 1 and Block 2, okay, nagsama sila. Okay, si Block 1, si Block 2, si Block 3 for example. Okay, si Block 4 and Block 5, matatakot na sila. Okay, or they will become more prestigious in the eyes of those blocks. Mas marami, okay, the more powerful they become, the easier they could defeat other enemy kingdoms. Yun lang, simple lang naman eh. Mas marami, mas malakas. Okay? Mas kayang ipalaganap relihiyon. Mas maraming kita. Okay? And in order to justify the need to explore, they use Christianity, mahutak sila, no? As a reason to invade other territories. Okay? They quoted their motivation for power and profit by the use of religion. Okay? Rather than they want to economically enrich their kingdoms, they said that they are invading other territories in order to spread Christianity. Okay, di ba? Grabe, ginamit nilang relihiyon. Okay? So both Portugal and Spain were champions of the Catholic Church in spreading Christianity. Both countries spent resources to ensure that conquered territories were converted to Catholicism. Ayan. So yan, nasabi ko na kanina. The most lucrative goods Europeans can trade during the period were spices such as pepper cloves, ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg. These were all highly in demand in Europe during this time for two main reasons. Spices enhance the bland taste of food and it preserved meat and fish in the absence of refrigeration. Okay, so a significant way to become more powerful kingdom, sabi ko na kanina, mag-explore ka, maghanap ka ng bagong territory. And, okay, doon na makikita, no, that you will become more prestigious in the eyes of your rivals. Yan. Next. Okay, yan, sabi ko na rin. European use Christianity as a reason to invade other territories. Both Portugal and Spain were champions of the Catholic Church in spreading Christianity. Now, let's move on to Ferdinand Magellan. Okay. First of all, who is Ferdinand Magellan? He is a Portuguese explorer, pero siya po ay under Spanish rule. Okay? Isang traidor daw sa kanilang lahi, sabi ng mga Portuguese. Well, however, the arrival of Ferdinand Magellan and his crew, so makikita nyo, these are the highlights of Magellan's voyage around the world. Okay, so they landed on Pumunhon Island. Saan yun? Sa Eastern Samar. And they next landed to Sugbu or Cebu na ngayon. And Magellan, kinaibigan niya po, he befriended with the ruler of Cebu. Sino siya? Si Raha Humabon. And promised him to be Spain's representative in exchange of an alliance. However, on the other hand, Magellan helped Humabon against his rival. Who is the rival of Raha Humabon? Si Lapu-Lapu. Diba? Even the Filipinos ay binulag ng power, binulag ng profit, okay, and binulag ng motivation ng mga Espanyol. In other way, okay, we mean that ginamit ni Ferdinand Magellan si Raho Humabon. Okay? So, ginamit lang isa't isa. Si Humabon humingi ng tulong kay Magellan against his rival Lapu-Lapu. And Magellan and his crew attack Mactan Island. Okay? The Battle of Mactan. Magellan died and Spaniards retreated back to Cebu. Okay. So, there are other expeditions na din. Okay? After Magellan's death. Ay namatay si Ferdinand Magellan in the hands of the Filipinos, in the hands of the our heroes. Okay? So, pero hindi doon nagtapos. It is not a defeat but a victory according to the Spanish regime. Okay? It's because kahit na namatay yung isa sa mga kinikilalang uh, magaling sa larangan ng ekspedisyon, okay? Kahit namatay siya, it is a way na na-discover nila ang bagong teritoryo na magagamit nila for around 300 years. Okay? So there are the expeditions after Magellan. Nandyan si Saavedra Expedition, Villalobos Expedition, and Legazpi Expedition. But we will not discuss yet on that thing kasi di-discuss natin lahat. But ang mahalaga ngayon ay alam na natin yung transition. Okay? So, sir, how do you characterize, okay, the how the Spanish conquered Philippines? Okay? Ito kasi yan, guys, no, lack of unity. At that time, wala naman talagang unity, di ba? Una sa lahat, magkakaibang kultura, magkakaibang tribo, magkakaibang uh, pinanggalingan. Okay? So, divide and conquer, sword and cross, sabi nga ni ng mga ating mga historians dyan. Okay? So, the initial encounter between the Spaniards and the Filipinos was characterized by curiosity and mutual exchange. However, as the Spaniards sought to establish control and dominance, guys, no, there are conflicts. The Spaniards encountered resistance from various indigenous groups, most notably in the island of Mactan, where Magellan was killed in battle. Okay. So, I hope you are listening. So, yan. Furthermore, the Spanish colonization brought about significant changes in the Philippines. Okay. So, we will discuss many more. Okay. So, yun. The arrival of the Spaniards and the subsequent colonization of the Philippines shaped the course of Philippine history for the next 3 centuries. And it left a lasting memory, okay, lasting impact on our language, religion, culture, and political institution. Okay? So, I hope that is clear to you. So, yun. Discuss natin itong tatlong to. They were able to conquer the Philippines because of some reasons. So, lack of unity, nasabi ko na, divide and conquer. Since each barangay was independent, okay, as we are discussing in lesson 3, there was no idea of national consciousness. In short, people living in barangays had no idea that all inhabitants within the archipelago belong to one group of people. Akala nila na kapag ibang lugar, ibang tao. Hindi nila alam na even those people living or inhabiting other barangay, kasama nila, belong to one nation. Okay? Belong to one group of people. Okay? Akala nila kalaban din. And this was used by the Spaniards to their advantage. Kaya tayo pinaglalaban-laban nila. They allied themselves with some datos and tasked these datos to help them defeat other barangays. Ang talino ng mga Espanyol. Okay? Those who will help the Spaniards were rewarded. This strategy is common called as divide and conquer strategy. Okay, say for example, hindi nyo alam nakakampi nyo ang halimbawa, Block 1 to 7. Si Block 1, hindi niya alam nakakampi niya si Block 2, Block 3, Block 4. So, pag ako yung colonizer, anong gagawin ko? Since hindi niya alam na magkakampi sila or nasa isang lugar sila. I will use the rule ruling power of Block 1 and Block 2. Pag-aawayin ko sila. Okay? I will divide them and conquer them. That is the divide and conquer strategy. Now, sword and cross strategy. So aside from violence, Spaniards also use religion in the colonization process. Okay? So, di ba nga, in the time of pre-colonial period, di ba, polytheism sila dyan. Now, anong ginawa nila? Okay? They turned a lot of natives, especially the Datus, to convert in Christianity. With them already baptized as Christians, it let them not to resist anymore and instead embrace the Spanish invasion in the archipelago. So yun po yung nangyari. Okay. So I hope you learn a lot in this lesson. Okay. So if you have questions, okay, my chat box is always open. And if you want to have a class discussion, okay, pwede rin nyo pong itanong sa GC natin and pag-usapan natin. So with that being said, thank you for listening. Meeting dismissed and God bless you all.